The slap echoed like a gunshot in the first-class cabin, slicing through the quiet hum of luxury. Passengers turned in shock, forks frozen mid-air, champagne glasses trembling slightly. A black woman stood still, head tilted from the impact, holding her 6-year-old daughter's hand. The flight attendant, tall and smug in her perfect uniform, stood before her, chest heaving. "I told you, people like you don't belong here. Get back to coach before I call security," she spat. Before we continue, hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell to get notified for more, share to friends. Where are you watching from? Please tell us in the comments. We love seeing how far our story goes. The woman slowly straightened, her calmness unsettling. Her daughter's eyes were wide, scared. But the mother didn't cry. She didn't argue. She simply whispered, "Not here, not in front of her." "Are you refusing to move?" the attendant barked. "This cabin is reserved for premium guests, not charity cases sneaking in." From the back, murmurs grew. An elderly man in a suit shook his head. A teenage boy filming with his phone whispered, "This is going viral." The woman walked to the side, gently guiding her daughter to a seat near the window, still within first class. She sat down. The flight attendant stormed off, pulling out her walkie-talkie. "We need her off this flight before takeoff." 15 minutes later, 2 uniformed men approached the woman's seat. "Ma'am, we've been informed there was an altercation." "She assaulted me," the woman said calmly, "in front of my child." The officers exchanged glances. "I don't want to escalate things," she added, "but if you force me to speak, I'll speak. And no one on this aircraft will forget today." The flight supervisor arrived, confusion in her eyes. "We're trying to resolve a misunderstanding." The woman looked at her wristwatch, a sleek, limited edition design only a handful of billionaires could afford. "I'll give you one last chance," the woman said gently, "to make this right." The supervisor tilted her head. "And who exactly are you?" The woman reached into her handbag, pulled out a small black leather wallet, and opened it. She slid out a matte black card with a signature silver crest in the corner. The supervisor's eyes widened. "Is this a joke?" she muttered. The woman pulled out her phone and pressed one button. A man's voice answered instantly. "Boardroom 1, yes," the voice said. "I'm on Flight 73, your aircraft," she said into the phone, keeping her gaze on the flight attendant now pale as paper. "Your crew just assaulted me and tried to remove me and my daughter from my own plane. I need the jet grounded. No one takes off until I say so." The flight supervisor blinked, frozen. "I'll handle it personally," the voice responded immediately. Within minutes, everything changed. The captain himself emerged, flustered and apologetic. "Ma'am, I had no idea." The woman stood. "That's the point. You didn't know. And your people treated me based on what they assumed. On my skin. On my clothes. On the fact that I was holding my daughter's hand instead of a champagne glass." Her voice remained even, but her words cracked open something heavy in the cabin. "You all saw it," she said to the passengers. Not one person stood up. Not one of you said anything. Silence. "Except you," she nodded at the teenage boy with the phone. "Thank you. What's your name?" "Eli," he said quietly. "You have courage, Eli." The flight attendant, now trembling, stepped forward. "Ma'am, I didn't know." "Of course, you didn't. Because you didn't ask. You didn't even consider that I belonged here." She turned to the captain. "Land this flight immediately. Ground it. And ensure she is removed." "She's done." The captain nodded. "Yes, ma'am." As they turned to escort the flight attendant off the plane, passengers clapped awkwardly, too late. The woman shook her head. "Don't clap. Reflect." She knelt beside her daughter. "You okay, baby?" Her daughter nodded. "You didn't cry, Mommy." "I never cry in front of fear," she whispered, kissing her forehead. Later, as the woman stepped off the plane, her security team already waiting with black SUVs, journalists began to gather outside the terminal. News had leaked. A reporter shouted, "Is it true you own the jet company?" She smiled, finally allowing emotion to show. "Yes. And I want this moment remembered, not because I'm rich, but because today proved that people still judge based on appearance. That has to change. What's your message to the public? She paused. That kindness should never depend on status. That respect must be offered to all, not just the ones who look like they own something. Because the quietest person in the room may just be the one who signs your paycheck. Moral lesson. Never judge a person by their appearance. Status isn't worn, it's carried with quiet dignity. Treat everyone with respect, not because they look wealthy, but because they're human. Appreciation message. Thank you for staying with us through this emotional journey. If this story moved you, don't just scroll, share it. Let someone learn from it. Stay tuned for more eye-opening tales that reflect the world we live in.